We're going to take a little bit of time and talk about our pre-camp planning and check-in and check-out procedures. Here at Rodney, our fee is all-inclusive. And when you think about that fee, if there's a spot where you're wondering, how much does it cost for fill in the blank? The answer is you've already paid for it. We obviously have a trading post. We'll talk about that a bit more later. But if you're doing a program, whether it's a merit badge program like one of our handicraft programs, or doing space exploration, or climbing on the climbing wall, or motor boating, or jet skiing, you don't have to pay additional fees for those things. And whether it's just an activity, something like open shoot at the rifle range or open shoot at the shotgun range, you're not going to have to pay for shot tickets or anything like that. It is all part of the fee that you paid for camp, including ice for your cooler. Like I said, if you're thinking how much does it cost for that, typically that means you've paid for it already. If it's not something memorabilia, etc., that we sell in the trading post. That fee, in order to get the early bird rate, is due by May 1st. That's for all troops. May 1st is the payment deadline to get the early bird rate. Anybody who pays after that, those scouts that are paid for after the May 1st date would be at our regular rate. Please make sure on your registration that you go about entering youth and adults by name, not just by number. And please make sure that your attendance numbers match the number of people you intend to bring. So on your registration, you tell us the number of scouts, the number of adults that you're planning to bring, and then you actually name those individuals. If you have folks that are left unnamed, you'd still be responsible for payment of those people. When we see an unnamed person, we assume that you are still going to be going about adding a name to fill that spot. So please make sure that your attendance numbers are correct and not just the names. Our program signups are going to open at 9 a.m. on March 24th. Again, March 24th at 9 a.m. That's that request from some of our customers who have asked to have that opportunity to get the information in sooner so that scouts can have more time to prepare, do prerequisites, etc. When you're doing that and your scouts are planning what activities they're gonna participate in, one recommendation would be to use the travel times document that's on our program planning website to give you a guide as far as distances between program areas. We also have a descriptions of program document on that page. It talks about every single one of our merit badges and non-merit badge programs. Talks about some age and experience recommendations. Please know that with very few exceptions, those are recommendations, not requirements. The ACE program is a 14 and up program. Jet skiing is a 16 and up program, but the vast majority of those recommendations are simply recommendations. You know your scouts best, and if they should be participating in a program or not. So if it says this is designed for third year scouts, but you've got a second year scout who is very passionate about that topic, you can use your judgment in getting that scout into the program. The descriptions of program document also lists prerequisites for badges and programs. So make sure that you take a look at that. Your scouts take a look at it. It will give you some guidance in is this an appropriate program to be signing up for my scout. Our schedule is a bit interesting. It's a hybrid schedule. When you look at our program schedule document, you'll see grayed out boxes in various time slots compared to the badge or program that's listed on the left-hand side of the page. Those grayed out boxes are when that program is being offered. So offering of that program is where that grayed out box is. So if it's a period A box, then it would be a period A that badge is being offered. As I said, we have a hybrid schedule. That came at the request of some troops that were looking for an opportunity to have their scouts feasibly take some more badges in concert with other troops that were saying the instructional design that we do here at Rodney is part of why they choose to come here as their camping home. And so we tried to find the happy balance of that. It took us about a year and a half of working through that process to figure out what is the ideal length of time for every single one of our programs. And so we've done that. And so on any given time, we have a period A, B, C, and D, and we have a period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So please make sure that your scouts pay attention to how long is a given badge, when is it being offered, but it gives them much more flexibility in when will they be taking those badges. As a part of pre-camp planning, as you go about getting ready for the summer, please make note the new youth protection training course that was rolled out by the National Organization of the Boy Scouts on February 1st of this year. That course is required for any adult staying overnight, not just for adult leaders, registered adult leaders, but any adult staying overnight here in camp has to have taken the new updated youth protection training course. It's one that it's a good course if you've not already taken it. Super informative. Does take a little longer than the older course, but is one for the benefit of our scouts and for the leaders as well. We are requiring of all adults that are staying overnight. Everybody's favorite part of pre-camp planning is often the paperwork, and we try to not have too much paperwork for you here at camp, but there are a few things that you can do that would make your experience here at camp even better. The first one of those is to do a unit swim classification. That's where you as a troop would do your swim test before you arrive at camp, whether it's at a local pool and it's guarded by a local lifeguard. That way you don't have the experience of your scouts when they first get to camp being nervous about how am I going to do on my swim test. They already know. They've chosen programs related to that if they had to make any changes because they didn't complete the swim test in the way that they had planned. Again, some badges require, some programs require that you are classified as a swimmer as opposed to a beginner or a non-swimmer. And so you don't want them to have the experience of finding that out on Sunday and then having to change their program selections. It definitely makes your experience on Sunday check-in a better one. We do offer swim tests here in camp. We're happy to do those for you, but many troops have taken advantage of the opportunity to do their swim classifications before they get to camp. Another piece that makes your life in camp even smoother is utilizing the prerequisite completion form. You can fill that out before you come to camp. You can fill it out here in camp as well. But if you fill it out ahead of time, please email it to rsrpd@dmvc.org. And that way we will have that out to our counselors right when you arrive. They'll already know that the scout has completed a given requirement, given prerequisite. Please also, as we talked about swim classifications, please email those as well to rsrpd@dmvc.org and rsrcommissioner@dmvc.org. That way we make sure that when you check in, we'll have your wristbands with the appropriate swim classification designations all ready for you, and you won't even have to go to the pool on check-in day. Some optional stuff, if you're looking to do Order of the Arrow call-outs, if you're a Delmarva Council troop, we're happy to do those for you. We're happy to do them for any troops, but if you are from outside of Delmarva Council, you'll need a letter from your lodge giving us permission to do that. Any Delmarva Council troops, we can also do your OA elections here in camp, but we can only do those for Delmarva Council troops. The National Order of the Arrow will not allow outside of the council OA elections. And lastly, our jet ski program requires a program release form. That's required for both youth and adults. It's found on our planning website, and need to have that filled out in order to participate in either the youth jet ski program or to participate in Leader Jet Ski. And anybody participating in those programs also has to have completed a boater's safety certification before they get to camp. Some people call it a boater's license. Same idea. They need to have completed that before they come to camp in order to participate in the program.